What's going on, guys? It's Red Bull Tanker and Airsoft Commando coming back to you with Imperious Leaders Korea 625 War. This is Operation Minden. For this video, because turn one outside of North Korea, no one else really can do much. We're just gonna rope in everybody's turn one in with each other. So first, we'll go to Airsoft Commando for South Korea.
Alrighty. So right off the bat, this fighter is coming from. I said the bomber is coming from Japan.
Well,
Correct?
those are UN. So, well,
Well, UN comes first.
no, South Korea goes first.
Oh, right. South Korea goes. There's no movement for South Korea.
Yep. So, with his 30 IPC, he bought he paid off the 4 damage, bought
That I did.
8 infantry, and then 2 supply. We are bringing in the ball. We're bringing in the full ROK, the ROK second division, the ROK third division, and he has activated the headquarters of the 5th ROK division. And yeah, he won't have any movement. And then I take it you'll just deploy all these guys to Seoul.
Yep.
Okay, so that'll deploy to Seoul.
Onto my army card.
Yes, onto the South Korean First Corps marker. I'll just set these off to the side. That way, at least, you kind of know. All right, and then we'll take these damage, get those put off over there. Oops.
Yeah, they can go away.
For now. Okay, so then, yeah, that's South Korea. Over to China. China had 10 IPC. All I'm doing is I'm going to buy a fighter. So we'll throw a fighter down here in the Chinese territory. Oh, I suppose I could really quickly just chip you out for a green. And all right. So then over to the UN, he had he also had 20. What did you buy again for the UN?
2 fighters.
All right, so he bought 2 fighters.
I'm gonna try and keep my strategy from the last time I played Allies because I liked how that worked out.
Okay. All right. So then, do you have any combat? Are you gonna do combat?
So this bomber is this coming from?
This is coming from Tsushima down here
All right.
in Korea or down here in Japan.
All right. So heads up, guys. So what's going on is because Red Bull has a bunch of custom text and basically like picture files for this game that I do not yet have. The board and a lot of like the battle boards and stuff are all blank. You know, the only thing I can really see is the Axis and Allies pieces, which is a mod I already possessed. So we'll try and get that worked on. So for now, it's just gonna be me pointing randomly at the map and him figuring out what I want to do.
Okay.
On that note, so how many C zones to get to Pyongyang? Or can I
Okay.
not make it?
So let's see. Well, bombers can go. So bombers can go. No, not 15. Bombers can go 12. So let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can make it. You can make it either route that you go. But I mean, if you go the left side, oh no, yeah, no, you'll make it. You can make it back to Tsushima no matter which route you take.
All right, can the fighters off the carrier make it to there and then into Seoul?
Let's see. So props can go 6.
They should then.
So 1, because the space that they're starting in doesn't count as 1, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, they won't make it. And neither will your aircraft. Neither will your fighters from Tsushima make it either. The fighter.
Well, I'll just move the fleet up a C zone first.
Well, no. So like, what you would do, because I believe it's following the same Axis and Allies. So like,
right, combat versus.
so like the aircraft will go first to protect the bomber on the attack, and then on the UN's non-combat, you'll move the fleet up so you can land the aircraft on the carrier.
Okay. Can they make it to that other factory? Those fighters.
One, two, three, four. They, I mean, they can go four, but they five. You'd still have to move the carrier up to pick. You'd have to still move the carrier to C Zone 2 during the non-combat uh to keep that going.
Right, which I can't do because I can't leave the fighters on an empty C zone.
No, there has to be a carrier there to pick them up.
Right. I'm just trying to think about how that works. I can't bounce back onto a C zone, then to one of the untouchable South Korean territories.
Nope,
Okay.
because it's gonna be four to get there, and then five, six, or no, because the parallel territories are in enemy hands, so you can't even land in those. Yeah, so either way, you'll need a carrier in this C zone to
Okay. So
to land your aircraft if that's what you want to do.
in that case, I don't think I will because a bombing raid is basically me facing off against a fighter.
I have
Yeah.
two. No, I have three fighters in
Oh,
Pyongyang.
fantastic. So never mind about the bombing raid for now.
Okay.
Um, because this isn't. Yeah, that's an army group. What I will do, however, is I'm going to take all NATO fighters and land them in Seoul.
Okay. 1 second. I will take care of that. Even the ones on the carriers.
Yep.
Okay, so the two on the carrier will go as well.
And then shift the NATO fleet closer to Pusan
Okay,
in
so you want the
non-combat. All of it's non-combat anyway.
yeah.
There we go. Yep, that should be fine. Kind of keep it safe from Chinese air attack next turn, since I just lost my fighter cover.
Well,
Um,
well, I mean your cruisers and carriers take 2 hits to kill.
yeah, you still have
Well, again,
quite a few
China's
fighters.
but remember China's not in the game yet.
China's not named. North Korea though is, and you
Yeah, but I
have one
mean
bomber and 4
three.
fighters.
No, I
I
have
will
one
still keep
bomber
them
and
there.
I have one bomber and 3 fighters.
Is it 3?
Yeah, it's 3.
Oh, there's 2. It looks like 3 chips. All right. All right. In that case, disregard that. I'll leave the fleet where it is this
Oh,
turn.
okay. So then I'll pull the fleet back.
You can actually grab all of them at once at one time.
Yeah, I was, but then I realized like it was going to crowd up the area, so I want to just individually place them so that way like stuff wasn't falling over each other. Okay,
I mean, I believe you. I mean, again, looking at a white sheet.
that's true.
I believe you. All right, so that should be it for NATO team then.
Okay, so that's the UN. So then over to the US, you had 50. What did you purchase for? All right, so you did 3 tank destroyers,
Yep,
1 supply truck,
correct.
6 infantry. He's deploying the rest of the 24th Infantry Division as well as the entire 25th Infantry Division, and then bringing up and then shipping over 3 supply. Um,
Yes.
you're kind of in the same
Uh,
you're kind of in the same combat fix with your strategic bombing. Like you'd have to move the 7th Fleet up in order to recover any aircraft that or to recover any fighters that would go up there to support your bomber.
yep, and that does make sense. So I'm gonna leave that there, and then the fighter as well can just go to Pusan to save 2 spaces.
Okay, so non-combat the fighters to Pusan with the
Yep,
nope,
just to
not
link up with
the
the
Eighth Army
U.S.
with the U.S. First Corps at Pusan. Um,
And then Task Force Smith, did that make landfall then?
yes, so uh, in Busan, you have 2 infantry, a mech, a supply truck, and a artillery. And then on Tsushima, you have 2 infantry, or 2 infantry, 2 supply trucks, and an artillery.
That's one heck of a regiment. No, I'm sorry, not even a regiment. That's one heck of a battalion and one artillery battery. And say so on that note, Task Force Smith can start moving
Okay.
towards Seoul. I don't expect them to make it anywhere near.
Okay. Well, how do you want to do it? Like, do you want to use the trucks to move your infantry a couple spaces? Well, and supply trucks can go 3 spaces, so you could at least carry 1 infantry up to Osan, just south of Seoul.
No, it's. Oh wait, yeah, because then they might.
I mean, it's just 1 infantry though. Well, no,
No,
actually, no. Supply trucks can carry. I think it's 2 infantry. So you could technically, yeah, you could grab your 2 infantry and bring them up to Osan, but the problem is then you don't have any. Oh no, because you could use the supply from Seoul uh
to fight.
to help them out if they were to be attacked.
No, just keep them with the main group because all of them will arrive next turn anyway,
Well,
and
not the
so they'll
artillery.
get there.
Remember, the artillery can only go 1 space.
Oh, everyone but the artillery, I suppose. But that's just how it is.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll leave the artillery, whoops, and the aircraft in
Yeah.
Busan,
The artillery can still
and
move
the
one towards.
yeah, and this helicopter. So first corps will go 1, 2 to Sangju. The artillery will go up 1, Pohang. Well, I mean, you got 2 options. You can either go to Wagwong or Pohang. It doesn't really matter, I suppose.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't.
okay.
Stick to the coast actually.
Okay, so sticking to the coast, so that'll be Pohang. So first corps is in Sangju. Like I said, you do have a helicopter in Busan as well. Actually, you could use that helicopter to bring supply forward for First Corps, because helicopters can take. Um, I mean, helicopters, they could take one of your supply tokens and marry it up with the First Corps.
All right, but supply is. I have 2 supply right now
Yeah.
in Seoul. Sorry.
No, you have 2 supply in Busan.
Okay, sorry.
You have 5 supply in Seoul and 2 in Busan.
That's 5 rounds of combat, so I don't know if I need to be throwing more supply into Seoul then.
No, but I'm saying like you could use your helicopter to reinforce your U.S. ground troops that just moved forward.
Well, those ground troops are going to go into Seoul, right? Like
Well, yeah,
there's nothing.
yeah, they should make it to Seoul next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll just feed off that supply.
Okay.
All right, can helicopter make it to Seoul?
1, 2, 3. I think so. I think helicopters move 4.
In that case, bring 1 supply into Seoul, so that way we just have 1 more supply in there.
Yeah, helicopters can move 4. So okay, I will take that helicopter, bring him over here to
Uh,
the
He can get out before
South
combat
Korean
starts.
First Corps, and he will take a supply token up to Seoul. All right, so you now have 6 rounds of combat in Seoul, or you have enough for 6 rounds of combat in Seoul. You'll definitely get more by the time the North Koreans even get there. So it'll be interesting to see. Any other? Oh, are there any other non-combats you got for?
No, I think that's past turn.
Um. Oh, one thing. I guess I'll make a mention of this. You do. I mean, you have 4 supply on the 2 UN transports that's still sitting on the transports. You also have 6 supplies sitting on the 3 US transports off of Busan. So you could offload all the supply onto.
So I can't even see the American fleet.
Oh, geez. So
That's a weird one.
weird. Interesting. But yeah, you have 3 transports, and you have 6 supplies with those transports. So I mean, if you could land those supplies onto Busan this turn.
I don't really need them though, so
And
because
that's
it's
true.
it's
But I mean the
7
supply.
rounds of combat.
But I mean the supply is taking up cargo space if you wanted to transport troops off of Tsushima.
Oh, I have troops in Tsushima.
Yeah,
That's
you
what's
have
going on
you
there.
have you have 2 infantry, 2 supply trucks, and a artillery.
That's what you were saying. Okay, in that case, let's do that.
All right, so landing 6 supply to
Can they move to Tsushima at this turn?
1 second. Actually, let me double check something on sea transports, just so that way I'm not screwing you up.
Because if the Axis and Allies rules are if you offload, it's pretty much that's the transports movement. That's how the old rules work, if I recall.
So what you could do, so there's three. So actually, what you could do is, okay, so you can, okay, okay, so you could take 3 units because you can with transports you can transport 1 land unit and 2 supply. So you have 3 transports here with 6 supply on it. So you could take three of the land units from Tsushima and land them on Busan as well. So I take it you'd probably want to do the 2 infantry and artillery, or would you want to
Yep,
take a supply truck over?
2 infantry and artillery for sure on this one.
Okay, so put those guys in. Okay,
I'm
all
trying to
right,
figure out why I can't find the American fighter and why all that's blank.
that's weird.
Did you pull that from a different Axis and Allies mod of
Maybe
some kind?
because some a couple of these models I also pulled from the Global War 1936 games that are on
Oh,
here.
I don't have those. I bet
Oh,
you
so
that's what's
that's
going
probably
on.
why too. Um, yeah, we'll have to figure out how to possibly just get this on in the workshop and then um
Either the 1936 one you pulled?
like there are a couple Global War 1936 games out there. I have 2 of them um
I see.
on my TTS.
Okay, we'll just have to go through that after this then, I think.
Yeah. Oh
But
gosh.
yes, Task
What
Force
I do?
Smith is well on its way. Reinforcements are coming in. South Korea looks okay. I'm doing all I can really there.
Ah,
All I can hope is that sorry, not AA, the factory's defense rolls good enough and somehow splashes your bomber.
yeah, that's true.
If you decide to fly it, because now I have 3 aircraft.
You
You have
have
three fighters there.
you have more than 3 fighters. You have four
4.
UN. You have 4 UN fighters and a South Korean fighter. So I mean, you have 5 aircraft defending that factory.
I will take that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I take it that's it for the U.S.
That is it for the U.S. That is a complete pass turn.
All right, well, so that is going to be the end of turn 1, everybody. So we'll go over to the scoreboard quick. The Allies are still winning 30 Korean IPC to the Communists 28. We are advancing forward to turn 2, August and September 1950. And I'll come down here to remind myself. So we are now on turn 2. And yeah, that should be it for now, guys. So, until I see you guys again for North Korea turn 2. Until then, guys, as always, take care.